Hey everybody, Mark with Mark's Home Hobbies. How you doing? Yeah, that's a picture of the car that I'm gonna race on the track. Yeah, seeing as how I got one whole viewer that requested it, I guess I'll just go ahead and do it. Turn off this music over here first. I guess they'll give me a copyright strike or something if I have that on. I was gonna like set up the lap timer and everything like that. I have that all set up here. And I've been kind of, going over some other stuff here with these other cars and doing a little bit of testing and tuning. Before I get started racing, though, I'll tell you about something that I discovered about this particular turbo racing car right here. And the same thing might apply to your cars too. If you want to race them on a track like this, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I race the other car out on the track. This, believe it or not, has rubber wheels. And I don't know, it probably can focus in on it there. But they get a little bit cluttered up with some real fine dust and everything, and you could Swiffer the surface of the track every single day, and you'd still pick up some fine dust. And these little cars will find the dust wherever it's at. So you might notice something strange about this car. You might notice that thing in the front. That's a piece of lead. Yeah, and I put some weights on the car because I noticed that I wasn't able to steer the doggone car. It was just out of control. It just had so much push, even though it has rubber tires. Now, what I find strange is that I also added this a large amount of weight to the rear end too, because then after I added the weight to the front, I was not really able to get very much traction in the back, which it never had much traction to begin with, but it did have some, so I had to equalize the weight. So now the overall weight of the car is probably equal to the weight of this car, believe it or not. Maybe this one's a little tiny bit lighter. Not much though. I mean, the overall weight I can tell just in my hand is pretty close. So, and this one does, the C64 has the brass wheels and has the gyro and all that stuff. Whereas the C75, this one here, does not have the gyro and does not have the brass wheels. So this is more made for speed and racing. But as you'll see, when I fire up this car and I get racing, and I'll show this to you, I won't make it real long because I know you really want to see me race this car. I have another one too. I try to show you is that even though this car is really nice and everything, you'd have to do some really serious modifications to this car. In other words, you're going to have to find a place to put the weight because there is no place inside this body to put any weight. So you have two options. If you swap this body out for a metal body like a Matchbox car or a Hot Wheels car body, that may give you enough weight. I have to make a comparison yet. I haven't done that, but this is just preliminary stuff here because I was down here and I decided to devote better part of an afternoon to practicing and racing and doing some attention on my track work here so that I can make better content because I guess I'm losing subscribers because I guess my content's no good. But anyways, despite all that, I'm trying to get the radios tuned up so that way if I have somebody come over here racing, I have the black one and I have the color changing custom that are both set up ready to go in a pretty good state to where someone could just drive it and they could have a fun time. They're not going to be spitting out all over the place, and and the radio is going to be kind of set up for them so they can drive on the track basically. Because sometimes you can set these cars and you would never even make it around here one time in 10 minutes. So uh, without hitting something or getting stuck or having to chase the car. The object of having fun is to be able to drive around the track as fast as possible without getting stuck or spinning out or, that type of stuff. Make laps on the track, actually, That's the object of this whole thing. So you can see I put a start finish line there. I don't know how well that's going to work with the timing system or whatever, but I just put it out there with some tape and I printed that off the interwebs. So, yeah, that's there. So we can have an official start finish. And then I'll probably put the camera down here, like on this, facing this way, like this, so you can see the whole track. and I'll try to get it right and take a few different shots. Maybe I'll come over here and film on this particular portion of the course for a while too. But yeah, try not to make it too long of a video. I'll probably end up editing out a lot of this stuff here, this talking and all that stuff, and condensing it down. But just to get it all on record, I just wanted to say those few things about the cars. I really like these C75s, but it turns out they're more for a, maybe a larger track or oval racing or something like that, or something with a little bit more not so twisty turns, and I don't know how to explain it, but the car is just, it's really very fast. It's a lot faster than the C64, the total top speed, but it's out of control. In the C64, it seems much more in control with the gyro, because you can tune out a lot of that squirreliness of the car. Where on these cars right here, the C75, you don't have that gyro option, so you can't tune the back end to try to help you out a little bit with the loss of traction. So I hope you understand that. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but, and I'm trying to use these radios, even though I have the newer upgraded P32 or whatever that one is too, with the programmable modes and all that. I'm trying to get 2 of these stock radios set up so that way I can take them around with me, and if I want to, I can take this track here and shove it in the back of my truck, and I can take it somewhere and go race people if they want to, if they want to do it at a bigger place or something. So that's my intention anyway. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but so anyhow, maybe I'll just make part 2 on the racing, because if I'm already up to 7 minutes while just talking. Okay, well, I'll just continue talking then, since I haven't done any racing yet. I'll continue talking. I'm using the program on here. It's called Easy Lap Counter. That's what the program is, and it uses a camera right there. That's a little Microsoft or Logitech or some kind of camera there on a little thing, shelf bracket there that's facing the track. That's hooked into my Z61T Lenovo ThinkPad, and that's running Windows 7. Yeah. So if you think you got to get out of Dodge when they convert over to Windows 11, I don't know, I still run old computers with this stuff, and I still connect them to the internet, and I don't really have any problems. So if you really need to have a brand new computer, I guess go ahead and do it, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. People are freaking out, but I don't think it's too big of a thing. Same thing like when Windows XP came out, when Windows 7 came out, everybody freaked out. So being an ex-IT guy, I would just say use what you got, enjoy it, keep it virus free. So watch out what you download, watch out what you run on your computer. Don't go any crazy websites or anything like that. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah. Other than that, I've been working on the desktop drifter there, and I managed to put twice as much weight as I put on this car on that car, and it weighs a ton. Yeah, it really weighs a lot. I think it probably, well, it probably outweighs that one by probably half as much more. But yeah, it's got a couple of pieces in there, a piece in the back and a piece in the front. And that car there is a 4-wheel drive, but it has no gyro either. And the proportionality of the car is just not there. It's not really too proportional, I might say. I mean, it is proportional, but the range of proportionality is without having dual rates and other controls to set it up. It's a very limited range of functionality on the controller with the steering and the throttle. So, but they're only 20 or 30 bucks or something like that too. So you can't really get down on them. They are kind of fun down the oval, and a place where you really don't have to do much steering or throttle action besides full blast, basically. So you could do that. And yeah, so I'm working on those and see what I can do with one of those too. And also, the Easy Lap Counter program, there's another program that I run on this tablet. It's called Lap Tracks, and that one there Also will count the laps and the times for you and everything on your track. And yeah, so you could use that program too. That's why I have that little tablet here in case I want to get rid of the Lenovo setup over here. We'll test them both out and see which one works better. And then I'm going to put some scenery up, just some basic stuff that I can, stuff on the wall, mural, and maybe a couple of buildings or something, just to jazz it up, make it look better. Maybe some trees, or I don't know, I got a bag of trees around there somewhere, and some light poles or something. Maybe I'll 3D print some light poles, and spruce it up a little bit, make it look more like a racing track. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll put the camera in the holder and film some races one of these days here. As soon as somebody comes over that has a car that'll race me. If anybody out there wants to come over and race, get in touch with me. Email address is in the About tab. You can email and we'll make it happen, Captain. Other than that, I think it's time to race. Alright, let's go for some racing action here. Lights. You can see what I mean. It's not as easy to do as you think it would be. And this car still needs to be worked on just a little bit. quite drifting, it's more like power sliding. That's what it's like, power sliding. You get a little gas and it slides a little bit. Sure, have fun like this though. If you can drive it. I'm getting barely keeping them out here. Barely. If this is too much, then it's too much. Then the car goes out of control at every corner. Man, now that's better. You can see if you want to squeeze around the lines there, it's pretty easy. Until I got there. And that's actually 100% on the throttle too. But he has the dual rig dialed in. So it only gives me full throttle at the very end of the throw. There's really only one place you can use full throttle. The rest of it, you gotta kind of feather the throttle a little bit. And that's what it is. You can go full throttle for a second. Throttle, I need a little bit less. A little bit more of that. So you can get some pretty skilled laps there, you know. I mean, you get warmed up after a while. Then you got to get used to all these cars, the settings, you know, because you're constantly changing, you know. Cars this small, hard to get repeatability out of them. These cars are actually very nice. And they rival a lot of the bigger cars out there, I'll tell you. In terms of drivability. a little bit. You're not going too far. You barely lose a pitch yet. That was a nice lap. Man, you crash when you get off your rhythm. You got those corners. If you guys like this kind of racing, make sure you hit the subscribe button, okay? Tell your friends. We didn't get no fucking corners, man. Driving like you stole it. Oh, I have a good wet continuosity there. Tires are cold. Much rather be doing this than slot cars, let me tell you. You guys can have those stinking slot cars. Way more fun. And you're actually driving the car instead of just watching it go around the track. Gotta do that with your slot car. Get around that turn like that. I like slot cars. Don't get me wrong. It's just that RCs are so much more fun. Especially these. I'm awful thanks for driving, man. Come on, you're out of the groove now. One slight mistake and that's it, and you're done. that one. They sure are nice, I tell you, they go good. I've tried a lot of little RC cars and these things, turbo racing are great. These things are awesome. Very nice, easy to control, a lot of settings. Battery lasts a good long time for the size and type of battery that it is. Very easy to drive. Getting it on that lap too. Oh, that was a good one. See, you get like one or two good ones here and there, and then that's it. And then you're all messed up. It's kind of the perfect track, dude. It has a lot of little twists and has a straightaway and has a big sweeper. There's a lot of places to test your skill. That turning's tough over there. But you wouldn't know because you're not here. Yeah, if you don't apply the gas at the right time, then you're not going around. said, it's power sliding. You like drifting, you'll love this. This is just as good as drifting in my opinion. This is drifting with speed. Look at that, sliding into every corner. Sliding around, didn't it? Man, these things last a long time. Watch, as soon as I say that, it'll run out. I'm about to see my pan. I like my apple. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop now. That's the car right there. Good old C64. Let me see if I can get it in the picture there. Yeah. C64 with brass wheels. Look at that. Got brass wheels on it. But you can see it still gets pretty good traction.